What is up, ladies and gents? Premier League Game Week 5 is here. We have so many interesting games coming up, but before we dive into that, let's just go over our Game Week 4 predictions and see how good or bad we did. So as you can see, we need a round of applause here. We did a terrific job. We hit 6 tips plus 3 correct winners and only missed out on 1 out of 10. That is a fantastic result, I would say. Let's start with the first one. Arsenal were hosting Nottingham Forest. Our tip was Arsenal to win combined was under 4.5 goals with the odds of 1.72. We hit that tip, plus we predicted the correct winner for that game. The actual result was 3-0 for Arsenal. The following match, Bournemouth were hosting Brighton. Our tip was both teams to score combined was under 5.5 goals with the juicy odd of 1.80. We hit that tip. The actual result was 2-1 for Bournemouth, and that was also in our green box tip. We hit that one as well. The following match, Everton were hosting Aston Villa. Our tip was Everton double chance combined was under 3.5 goals with the juicy odds of 1.84. We hit that tip as well. The actual result was 0-0. I was confident that Everton are not gonna lose at home considering Aston Villa's current form, so we hit that tip. The following match, Fulham were hosting Leeds. Our tip was Fulham to win with the odds of 1.90. We hit that tip. The actual result was 1-0 for Fulham. And we had a backup tip of Fulham to score over 1.5 goals with 2.0, but we missed that one. The following match, Newcastle were hosting Wolves. Our tip was Newcastle to win combined with first half to have over 0.5 goals, meaning 1 or more goals in the first half with the juicy odds of 1.77. We hit that tip. The actual result was 1-0 for Newcastle, and we predicted the correct winner for that game as well. And as you can see, 1.77 has a star. That was our another green box tip, which I was more confident about, so we hit that third one as well. The following match, Brentford were hosting Chelsea. Our tip was Chelsea to score over 1.5 goals, meaning 2 or more goals by Chelsea with the odds of 1.77. We hit that tip as well. We were on the roll. The following match, West Ham were hosting Tottenham. We predicted the correct winner there, that Spurs are gonna bounce back after their previous loss at home against Bournemouth, and the actual result was 3-0 for Spurs. So the correct winner for that one is 2.10, super juicy odd right there. And our tip for that game was both teams to score combined was under 5.5 goals with the odds of 1.85. We didn't hit that because West Ham got a red card and they couldn't score a single goal. The following match, Burnley were hosting Liverpool. Our tip for that game was Liverpool to score first and Liverpool to score over 1.5 goals, meaning 2 or more goals by Liverpool. We missed that tip. The actual result was 1-0 for Liverpool, but we hit the correct winner for that one as well, that Liverpool are gonna win that one. And the following match, the game of the week, it was Manchester City were hosting Manchester United. We predicted the correct winner for that one, despite Manchester United taking points from City for the past 4 games. And I predicted that Manchester City is gonna bounce back against this rival and are gonna win the game. That's what happened. The actual result was 3-0 for Manchester City. So we predicted the correct winner with the odds of 1.70. That is just beautiful. And our tip for that game we missed was both teams to score combined was over 2.5 goals. I was hoping United are going to score at least, but they weren't able to. So we missed that one. And one game where we missed the tip and the winner was Crystal Palace. It was a huge disappointment. I was thinking Crystal Palace are going to win, but from now on, I'm going to give lots of credits to Sunderland. They're back to back, like proving they're not here to go back to Championship division. The actual result was 0-0. Our tip was Palace to win combined was over 1.5 goals, so we missed that. But as you can see, we hit 9 out of 10 possible predictions. That is just some beautiful result with 6 tips and 3 correct winners and only 1 total miss. 9 out of 10. That is some good warm-up. Let's go. So yeah, we did a fantastic job with Game Week 4. Let's see how we're gonna do with Game Week 5. Without further ado, let's go. First match of the week, Liverpool will be hosting Everton, first against the 6th. Liverpool absolutely dominated Burnley last week with 81% possession and 27 shots, 27 versus Burnley's 3, and yet they still needed a 95th minute Salah penalty to grab the win. It was a tough game for the Reds, not being able to find the back of the net until the last seconds. Burnley basically turned defending into Olympic sports. They blocked everything and looked like they were practicing yoga poses in the box. Everton on the other side did well against Aston Villa. We called the double chance and they delivered 0-0 draw, 20 shots versus Villa 7. Classic Everton, all the build up, no final product. It's like baking a cake and forgetting the sugar. But hey, all the jokes aside, I love how David Moyes is cooking up. He's doing a fantastic job at Everton, to be honest. Quick reminder, Liverpool have a Champions League match against Atletico Madrid at Anfield, but Arne Slot's men are the only team with 100% Premier League record, 4 wins from 4. Last season, Everton held them 2-2 at Goodison Park, but at Anfield, obviously Liverpool won 1-0. Expecting something similar here, Liverpool dominating, Everton maybe sneaking one on the counter. So let's see how it goes. You never know because they got Jack Grealish now and he's killing it there. My goal for this match, 2-1 for Liverpool. Salah to score probably, Everton to make it awkward, and me wondering if I accidentally paid for Wi-Fi just to watch Liverpool pass sideways for 80 minutes before scoring late, just like how it was against Arsenal. And my tip for this game is Liverpool to win, combined was under 4.5 goals, odds 1.85. On to the next one, Brighton will be hosting Spurs, 13s against the 3rd. Brighton just can't seem to get a win in a match they probably deserve more from. Went toe-to-toe against Bournemouth. They have been dangerous in wide areas and in transitions, but finishing and defensive stability remains issues there. Spurs from the other side started the season with the momentum. They beat City 2-0 and then went on to beat West Ham 3-0 with Soucek sent off and got creative with their new signing Javi Simons assisting. Brighton will probably try to control things from the wings using width, get crosses and get Spurs out of their shape. I expect them to press high at times, trap Spurs midfield when possible. The interesting fact that I have to bring up about these teams is that they both defeated City this season, like shocked everyone. Spurs beat City 2-0 away and Brighton beat them 2-1 at home, making a comeback, and now they're facing each other. And one more interesting fact is that the last time Spurs visited the American Express Stadium, the game ended 3-2 for the home team Brighton. So my score prediction for this match is 2-2 draw. And my tip is both teams to score combined was under 5.5 goals, odds 1.75. The last 5 times they have scored against each other, so why not this time? On to the next one, Burnley will be hosting Nottingham Forest, 17s against the 15s. On one side we have Burnley, Premier League's newest defensive masterpiece under Scott Parker, and even the press noted that they were defensively imperious in the championship, conceding just 16 goals all season. It's a system built on one simple principle: you cannot lose if the other team cannot get to your goal. But plot twist, they've already lost their key defender CJ Egan Riley and star goalkeeper James Trafford. It's like building the Great Wall of China and then selling off the bricks to a neighbor. As a matter of fact, I have a feeling that if James Trafford knew that Manchester City would sign Donnarumma from PSG after signing him, I don't think it would go to City. Why? Just to be benched? And he's on his prime. He had an amazing season with Burnley. So I don't know. I think he would just stay at Burnley instead of just being benched in Manchester City. So I don't know. The last time Forest visited Burnley, which was back in 2024, the game ended 2-1 for Nottingham. I have a feeling it's going to be a similar vibes in this one too. So my score prediction for this match is 1-2 for Nottingham Forest, and my tip is Forest double chance combined was under 3.5 goals, odds 1.82. But if you feel really courageous and want to back Forest, then Forest to win at 2.20 also doesn't look too bad. On to the next one, West Ham will be hosting Crystal Palace. This one is going to be interesting as well. 18s against the 9. West Ham are coming off a difficult defeat at home against Spurs 3-0. a game where Thomas Soucek was sent off with a red card and will be absent in this game due to suspension. West Ham's defensive record this season has been concerning. They have conceded 5 goals from corners alone, and their overall defensive performance has been shaky with 11 goals conceded in just 4 games. Crystal Palace on the other side, coming into this game of a frustrating 0-0 draw against Sunderland at home. Despite a dominant performance with 6 shots on target, they couldn't find the back of the net. Looking at the head-to-head history, the last time these two clubs met was at this very stadium, and Crystal Palace actually won their game 2-0. Based on West Ham's recent defensive struggles and the historical success of Crystal Palace at the London Stadium, my prediction for this match is 0-2 for Crystal Palace, and my tip is Crystal Palace double chance combined with over 1.5 goals, odds 1.94. On to the next one. Wolves will be hosting Leeds, 20th against the 16th. First up, Wolves. Their last outing against Newcastle was a masterpiece of a single soul-crushing loss. They were defeated 1-0, and without their star boy Cunha, the attack was as effective as a screen door on a submarine. There are 2 teams in the Premier League that I'm feeling bad about. Wolves without Cunha, of course Newcastle. They lost Isak to Liverpool. Like, these 2 teams are really lost. They don't know how to score goals anymore. It's really difficult for them. Now over to Leeds. The last time they were on the field, they fought toe-to-toe against Fulham, a battle of attrition where nobody could score, and then they scored an own goal in the 94th minute. It's like running a marathon for 4 hours straight, then tripping on your own shoelaces a foot away from the finish line. That's exactly what happened in that game. But the interesting fact between these two is the last 4 times these two faced each other, Wolves could get only 1 win, and the other 3 games ended with Leeds' win. And as a matter of fact, the last time Leeds visited Wolves, they came with a dominant 4-2 victory. So this game is gonna be a tough one to call, and it can go either way obviously. So my score prediction for this match is 1-2 for Leeds. I'm gonna back them in this one. And my tip is total goals over 1.5, meaning 2 or more goals in the game, combined with first half to have under 1.5 goals, meaning 1 or less goals in the first half. The odds are juicy 2.30. On to the next one, another game of the week. Manchester United will be hosting Chelsea, 14th against the 5th. First, let's look at United. They're coming off a fresh 3-0 thrashing at the hands of their neighbors, City. A lot of us had high hopes with this United squad with their new signings, but as the old saying goes, you can sign a Lamborghini, but if the engine falls out, it's just an expensive ornament. Unfortunately, Cunha was injured and couldn't help his team in this game, and without him, they just don't look good. Not for Chelsea. You'd think they'd be in a good mood after their last outing. They could win the game against Brentford thanks to goals from Cole Palmer and Caicedo. But then in the 93rd minute, they conceded a goal from a long throw-in of all things and had to settle down for a 2-2 draw. Losing a win in the final seconds of the game is a special kind of pain. And let's not forget the bigger picture. Chelsea have to travel to Germany to face Bayern Munich in the Champions League. After a big game like that, I mean, the team is going to be exhausted. Now, for some interesting history, last season Chelsea did defeat United at home, but when they traveled to Old Trafford, that game ended 1-1 draw. The real kicker, the last time Chelsea won a Premier League match against United at Old Trafford was 12 years ago, back in 2013. And another fact is, that season actually United won the Premier League. So when it comes to this match, a lot will depend if Cunha will be back to the squad against Chelsea. So let's wait and see. My score prediction for this match is 1-1 draw. And my tip is both teams to score, combined with under 5.5 goals, odds 1.75. On to the next one. Fulham will be hosting Brentford, 11th against the 12th. Fulham defeated Leeds 1-0 at home in their last outing by scoring a last-minute goal, and Brentford from the other side made a comeback in the last minute as well and drew the game 2-2 against Chelsea. It was a very competitive game. The last time Brentford visited Fulham, that game ended 2-1 for the home team Fulham, and this is another tough one to predict, but my score prediction for this match is 1-1 draw, and my tip is both teams to score odds 1.72. On to the next one. Bournemouth will be hosting Newcastle, 4th against the 10th. Bournemouth didn't disappoint at home against Brighton. Alex Scott scored in the first half, Brighton equalized in the second half, and Bournemouth said no and scored a penalty and won the game 2-1. Newcastle from the other side finally got their first win of the season, and it was at home against Wolves, 1-0. Wasn't too easy, but Nick Woltemade said, "No Isaac, no party. Let me score the winner and get our win." And this W will definitely boost their confidence for their upcoming Champions League match against Barcelona. They needed that confidence so much that to believe in themselves they can score and win games. I'm not saying they can get the 3 points against Barcelona, but who knows? And I believe Yamal is also injured for that game. And to be honest, Barcelona did pretty well without Lamine Yamal in their last outing. They won 6-0. The first goal came from Fermin Lopez. He actually had a brace. Rafinha had a brace and Lewandowski had a brace. The game ended 6-0 for Barcelona. And what ridiculed me even more is that Chelsea offered Barcelona for Fermin Lopez 50 million, bro. Like seriously, just knowing Barcelona is broke, you thought they're gonna agree for anything. And then you went on paying Garnacho 55 million, bro. Where's Garnacho? Where's Fermin? Like, I don't want to disrespect Garnacho, but there's a saying, don't kick the team while they're down. So don't disrespect Barcelona like that. But back to this game, the interesting fact between these two teams is that the last 5 times they faced each other, 3 of them ended in a draw and the other 2 were won by Bournemouth. So Newcastle have a big issue dealing with Bournemouth. And for instance, Newcastle last trip to Bournemouth ended with a 1-1 draw. So my score prediction for this match is 0-0 draw. And my tip is Bournemouth's double chance combined was under 4.5 goals, odds 1.70. And I do know I'm predicting a lot of draws, and I don't know why. I have a feeling that we're gonna get quite a few draws in this game week 5. On to the next one. This game will be held on Sunday. Sunderland will be hosting Aston Villa, 7th against the 19th. You heard it right. 7th against the 19th. And credits where it's due. I should apologize in front of Sunderland fans. I should start giving them much more credits and start believing in them. They are just killing it. Them fighting against Crystal Palace in that away match deserves all the credits in the world. I was predicting that Crystal Palace is gonna score a few goals and defeat Sunderland, but to my surprise, Sunderland said not today. And they're game to game, they're proving they're not here to waste time. And their performance are really impressive. So now I will definitely start trusting them more. And signing over 10 players, they definitely working in their favor, and it looks like they clicked right away. You usually see like how Nottingham first got promoted. They signed so many players, I believe 12 or 13 in the first season, and it took them some time for them to get that chemistry going and click. But Sunderland, they signed 10 or 11 players and they just clicked right away. Like they're playing against these teams who got qualified to European football, like they belong here. And when it comes to Aston Villa, things are not looking too good for them. In their last outing, they visited Everton and drew that game 0-0 and still winless after their 4 tries. And this time around, as I said in my previous video, until I see Villa convincingly getting a win in the Premier League, I'm hesitant to back them. And considering Sunderland won 2 out of their 2 home games, defeating West Ham and Brentford, my score prediction for this match is 1-0 for Sunderland. Call me crazy. And my tip is Sunderland double chance, odds 1.74. And the last game of game week 5, another game of the week for sure. Arsenal will be hosting Manchester City, 2nd against the 8th. Arsenal defeated Forest at the Emirates just like we predicted. Zubimendi scored the goal, and then Gyökeres reminded us he's not a one-season wonder and scored the 2nd, but Zubimendi said, "Don't steal my spotlight," and scored the 3rd goal and sealed the win for the Gunners. Arsenal also have to travel to Spain to face Athletic Bilbao in the Champions League. Manchester City in their last outing faced their neighbor United. Phil Foden scored the first one with a beautiful header, and then Haaland joined the party and scored 2 more, and the game ended 3-0 for City. And they finally got back to their winning ways after 2 back-to-back losses. One interesting fact that a lot of you probably remember, the last season when City visited the Emirates Stadium, Arsenal demolished City 5-1. I'm pretty sure Guardiola's men may be terrified to visit that stadium again this time. And honestly, I believe that Arsenal's current form is much stronger than City's. Especially now having Gyökeres, Eberechi Eze, like those are some fantastic signings for them. I'm not an Arsenal fan, but they may actually win the league this season and stop their trolls. But hey, it's too early to talk about this, so let's get back to this game. I'm not sure when Saka will be back, right? I doubt that he's going to be ready for this match. And one interesting detail coming up to this game is that Arsenal's Champions League game is on Tuesday and City's is on Thursday. So Arsenal are going to have a couple of extra days to prepare for this match, which should benefit them a lot. So considering all of that, if Arteta will not go for it this time and just give us another yoga retreat again, I don't know, I'll be shocked. So my score prediction for this match is 2-1 for Arsenal, and my tip is Arsenal double chance combined with both teams to score at 2.15. And that is all, guys. That was our Premier League Match Week 5 predictions. Don't forget, tips and predictions are never guaranteed and it's only for entertainment purposes, so play responsibly and make your independent decisions. Also, please stay active, support the channel. Don't forget to leave your predictions and comments in the comment section. I'll try to get back to every single one of them. See you until next time.